That's happening in the cryptocurrency space. Today is a bright Monday morning. So it's a Hong Kong's Monday. So we are at September the 14th over here, and we're starting a new week. So quite exciting. And we'll do a recap on everything that's happened in crypto. Like just on this weekend, there was a lot of action. Prices wanted to shoot up. We saw everything trying to move up. Ethereum almost trying to move up to 400 again. And then we got a little bit pushed down over the past few hours. So I'm pretty sure everyone's wondering what's happening next. We'll try to answer some of that as well in today's episode. We also have more launches on the Binance Smart Chain. This new narrative is also coming into play, and we're going to take a little look about how to even use the Binance Smart Chain, because it's not as easy. It's not as one click as most people think it is. So, we'll answer some questions about what everyone's thinking. We'll talk a little bit about, everything that's on there, like Cream and Burger Swap and all that jazz that's moving on to Binance Smart Chain, and how all this whole ecosystem will play out. We'll look at some memes and some thoughts going forward. I think it's funny, in crypto, everything's almost communicated through memes right now. So we'll look at the memes surrounding SushiSwap, not Burger Swap. All right, with all this stuff, like, this is kind of funny because, if you talk about crypto, I'm pretty sure if you guys watch this for the first time, you could be like, Burger Swap, Sushi Swap, Sashimi Swap. What's wrong with this guy? Like, seriously, what is wrong with this guy talking about all this stuff food related? And there are an excessive number of food related memes and also exchanges right now, right? Because technically SushiSwap is a full-blown automated market making exchange. Same with Burger Swap and all that. There's something seriously wrong with crypto. Seriously. But anyways, regardless, we'll push on. We'll talk about all that jazz. We'll try to make this episode to answer as many questions as people want. I think recently something I've been realizing is that this episode and these live streams are really designed to be first-hand accounts of what everything's going on. But at the same time, some people have no clue, right? It's so hard to follow because I've been in crypto for, this entire run, and as you can probably tell for the past few weeks and how tired I was the past few weeks, we're pretty much working 15 to 20 hour days, like barely getting any sleep. And that was rough for the past few weeks. This weekend for me, I just said, okay, I'm going to chill out. Let's take a little bit of a break. It was a little bit too rough last few weeks. And with the market cooling down a bit, just a lazy Sunday, lazy Saturday, finally went for a run actually. So just doing the stuff that I promised myself I would do. So that's kind of the gist of things now. It's cooling down a little bit, which is good, which is right now the current scene in crypto. Like, there isn't as much fever. And with all the new projects being launched, the ratio of scam to not scam, it's getting pretty high. There's more and more scams appearing, which means that you either have to double the time or you just avoid it altogether. And I chose the latter. I chose to just kind of avoid the whole kind of overgrowth of new projects for the time being. But anyways, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys did well today. I think a few hours ago there was the linear finance sale, so congrats on anyone who got in and managed to do it. It was apparently 40 times oversubscribed. So yeah, crypto fever is still super present and around, and we definitely want to make sure we're on top of everything. So I'll do some housekeeping before we start this episode. So very quickly, I got this episode prepared for you guys. So tomorrow we're doing a talk with Chandler Song and Ryan Fang. Typo there, actually, I need to change his name spelling, but these are the guys from Anchor and also Bounce. So Bounce is one of the newest platforms for token sales right now in the space. And something I really like about these two guys, when I was editing these up, I was like, oh my God, that's like 3 Asian dudes, right? But apart from being 3 Asian dudes, something that's quite interesting about both Ryan and Chandler is that they're both very hardworking, and they also know and try to predict what's next in crypto. And that's what I kind of titled as What's Next in Crypto with Chandler Song and Ryan Fang. It's because we kind of want to keep up to date, not just up to date, but also kind of predict what's up for the future. right? Because you don't want to just like buy someone's 10x bags all the time. You want to kind of predict and be the guy who actually does a 10x, right? That's the obvious solution. So I'll be picking their brains a lot. They're based in Silicon Valley, so the other side of the world. And I'm going to pick the brains about what's kind of hot right now, what, with them keeping ears very close to the ground, what's hot on the other side of the world and what's really happening. So I think that will be a really great chat. That will be up tomorrow. So same time tomorrow, September the 15th, that will be the time for, so make sure you check that out and watch that. So we are there. Let's make sure that this is fine. Let's see, my chat is actually out of date. So let me just make sure that we're on the chat for everything here in terms of YouTube. So there we go. So that will be tomorrow's chat. So anyways, I'll take a look at the chat as well. It seems like there's a lot to do, and people are asking about YFE and Cream and all that stuff. So we'll go and talk about this whole DeFi stuff. There's definitely a lot of risks involved with DeFi. I mean, just off the note this morning, it's just like every morning you wake up, check the prices and make sure that my farms are okay. That's kind of the firm routine now. So anyways, it's a lot of work. Anyways, that as well, I just want to tell you a little bit about, just before we start, about my podcast. So podcast is still online, but for some reason, some new episodes aren't showing up, but we are adding more and more episodes this week. It's called Bitcoin Out of the Box because, well, box money, and I wanted to have the name Bitcoin in there. So Bitcoin Out of the Box, my podcast. The whole idea is to bridge the gap between privileged institutional investors and the rest of us in this space. And we've been doing a lot of interviews and a lot of insights. So we have CZ up there, we have Ramp DeFi up there, we have the State of DeFi and Serum with Sam from FTX. He's become such a dominant player now. So, we've been getting on these interviews fast before all the action really starts. And that's kind of the take. And the best part about it is that you can just listen to it whenever, right? So you can go on podcast, Spotify, you can go on Apple Podcasts, you can go on Google Podcasts, whatever, listen to it on the go. That's pretty fun. That's pretty cool. Anyways, let's start the episode properly now. Let's go to CoinGecko, take a look at the markets. So like I was saying, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and a lot of DeFi projects took a little bit of a dump. So this shape will be quite familiar to you guys, where there's a little bit of a dump here. But we're trying to recover off that. So it's more present in the Ethereum chart. A little bit more present. So just yesterday we're trying very hard yesterday night, but most of Sunday we're trying very hard. Sunday, Saturday, trying to push to above 400 again. But yes, we unfortunately got rejected. So at around 390, we saw some solid resistance, and then we got rejected off that, plummeting down to around $350, sending some fear into the markets. But we found support there. Support was reached. Not bad. That's not the end of the world. Crypto's not dead yet. And then that was moving all the way up to 366 to where we are right now. So overall, my take on this current market is that with Ethereum and all DeFi projects, it's extremely volatile because we're kind of at the edge of innovation. So I want to kind of make that distinction. A lot of people kind of attribute, like you can see the same pattern appearing for Bitcoin as well. That is also true. But what I want to do is like throughout this longer period of time, so we see the same dump and the kind of slight, we saw the support as well for Bitcoin and then moving up again. So there's a strong correlation between Bitcoin and Ethereum. But what I do want to say is that these projects all have very different end goals. And I think this is something that's confusing a lot of people in the space. Bitcoin itself is mostly about decentralization. It's the most decentralized project. It has the most number of nodes and miners also. So it's even have the separation of power as well between the nodes that communicate and also the miners that create blocks. Ethereum, almost the same deal, but Ethereum is trying to move to a proof of stake mechanism. And also it's more about innovation. It's all about being able to allow smart contracts. It's completely Turing complete, which means programmers can program anything of their dreams. And this is what the kind of innovation is happening on Ethereum right now, where people are creating a lot of decentralized finance projects, right? So that current narrative, I think we need to break away from that long-term goal where all cryptos are related. I mean, I think people think crypto and I think Bitcoin, Ethereum, oh my God, Ripple, Binance, whatever, right? So we kind of need to break away from that chain of thought and evaluate each project as it is, because at the end of the day, I think they're so different. It's not even apples and oranges. It's like apples and red meat. They're not the same thing, right? So anyway, so overall, there's still some projects are in the green in the past 24 hours. Waves, Kusama, Aragon, Loopring, Ampleforth. Ampleforth is a kind of funny one. I've been using Ampleforth as the literal canary in the mines. It's if Ampleforth is pushing up, that means the markets are doing really well. Whilst when it goes down, it's like, Reason being is because Ampleforth, I personally think, don't have too much value. It's a rebasing coin per se, but it doesn't really have much value overall. So if Ampleforth really moves up, that also tells me there's a lot of hype in the market, because Ampleforth can have a lot of the hype. So when it's above 1, it's like almost like, for me, it's like, oh, okay, there's a lot of hype going on. You gotta be a little bit careful, and that's kind of the storm is coming. But at the same time, when it's down, it means okay, interesting times. So that's kind of my canary. So Ampleforth is up, but it's not above $1, which is also quite important too. But anyways, regardless of the point, we have a lot of DeFi projects on the downside. So Nexus Mutual sliding down 15 points, but this is actually quite expected because Nexus Mutual has been pushing up quite a lot recently. So that pullback is kind of expected. Same thing with IOST and DeFi.money. So DeFi.money also made this crazy push this weekend. So both DeFi.money and yEarn.Finance also made some strong pushes this weekend and throughout this week. So you can see that overall it made massive gains in the 7 days. So in the last 7 days, it's up 34%, but in the past 24 hours, it's down 12%. So that kind of pullback is expected for anything that was pushing very, very strong this week. Of course, not financial advice anyways. You guys probably know that from watching infinite episodes, but that's kind of the story that we're here. So a lot of the DeFi projects are up and down, or they're up on this list of the negatives. So they're just checking outside. It seems like it's raining. But anyways, so yeah, a lot of the DeFi projects like Sushi, Blockstack, Thorchain, all DeFi banned, DeFi. This is their own project, Algorand, but they're catering also to DeFi. RSR, also DeFi. So DeFi has been being pretty punished the last 24 hours as people kind of pull back, take profits. A lot of people are likely to take profits at this current point. Why not? Because, if you're up, why not take a little bit of profit? Go treat yourself. That's the strategy. So anyway, so that's kind of the current story about what's going on and the current markets. We'll take a look at the comment section just to kind of calm down, feel where everyone's at. We got thoughts on band. I actually haven't touched band for a while now, so I'll actually have to do, like, in terms of videos, I'm super behind on videos. I'm so sorry, guys. It just turns out to be a case that I'm just doing way too much every week. So in terms of video production, that actually got put back a little bit, but I'm still keeping all the Sunday and these streams. So let's go. So these live streams, I'm definitely keeping these. So basically Monday 11 and Friday 11 p.m. a.m. Hong Kong time, or if you're on New York side or America side, it'll be p.m. But anyways, I'm keeping these streams up because, well, yeah, why not? So they're a fun time to catch up. And I think it's like during the most busy times, I have to spend an extraordinary amount of time to research new projects for myself personally, because I am very, very invested in the space, which means that unfortunately YouTube has to take a little bit of a backside, because that's just the unfortunate part. But anyways, keeping up with this, we got Bernard in, we got Angela Wang. Thank you guys so much for being mods as well. By the way, guys, really, really appreciate it. We got all the part members of the Box team Box Mining with the smiley faces, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Just gonna take it a little bit easy today as well. I think recently I've been trying harder to have a little bit more balance in my life. That's kind of key. When DeFi first started, I think the narrative was actually quite funny as well. I'm going to just move. This is actually tape. This is kind of funny. I'm going to move this away from my table. But when DeFi actually started, I would admit that I was a little bit late. So a lot of people who were investing heavily in January or February of this year, they are doing phenomenally well. All right. Most of their bags are probably pumping 10, 20x by now. I got in a little bit late. So it really started with the Wi-Fi mining. So a little bit of Curve before that. If you guys watch my videos, you'll probably know that I was in Curve before the whole Wi-Fi mining thing started. But once the whole kind of DeFi season kicked into full gear, I was on this like trying to catch up and also getting ahead of everyone else as well. So that was where all my time was spent. So if you look at the videos of Wi-Fi mining and the whole yield farming thing and everything going forward, it's been a little bit crazy. We'll talk a little bit about yield farming now because it's on everyone's mind, and I'll share with you some information going forward. So first of all, foremost, obviously Wi-Fi, you can't really farm it anymore. So this is the OG and the starter. And a lot of people have been asking me why Gov.Finance actually is the one. So a lot of people have been asking me, look, if they have spare ETH or they have like kind of just coins lying around, what should they do with it? So it's to a point where, give me 1 second. Why yEarn.Finance? Sorry, I'm too OG. So it's to a point where the easiest way to start, obviously, is with yEarn.Finance. Not financial advice. This is where if I don't have anything active going on, this is where I go. So if you go to vaults, you'll see some rough APYs for what you're doing, and you can deposit a bunch of coins. So Ether, you're getting around 20%. Wrapped Ether, same similar story, and you have the Curve coins, Curve LP coins, etc., that you'll be getting less than 100 now. So if you look at these rates are starting to become more and more normal, because back in the day, it would be absolutely insane. So even with something like the Curve LP tokens, it'll be at 200%. And when Wi-Fi was first being started, that was like at 20,000%. But anyways, that's kind of the current take on what's happening. It's not as the rewards are no longer as great as before, but they're still present. Now, Y vaults are not the most aggressive out there. So they don't go to every single new project, but they kind of farm what is more or less more proven. All right. So you get a little bit more safety there, but it's also still quite dangerous relative to something like banks, etc. This is why you have higher rates. It's because at the end of the day, what's happening when you deposit into these Y vaults, of course, is that these funds are being used to mine, to farm. And if anything happens with that project as well, these vaults are going to suffer too. So that's the kind of current take. We also have an update this week with SushiSwap. So SushiSwap was one of the higher yields that I was getting. So from most of last week, I was farming the crap out of SushiSwap, and more with the kind of weirder coins as well, like Umami Squid, Bandosaurus, Ample Chicks, Synthetic Snakes, Based Bull. They were all having around higher than 1,000% APY. But now what's happening is that SushiSwap, the rewards have dropped. So right now, rewards per block is 1,000 sushi, but previously it was 10x that. It was 10 times this amount. So right now, sushi has basically essentially 1/10 of its original rewards, and these numbers reflect that. So you're having Tether Turtle at around 70%. Excuse me. So that's kind of the current case that's happening here, where we see these declines of rewards for SushiSwap, which is promoting and pushing people to other swap platforms. So this is a part where it's all about the chase now. So if you want higher yields, you want to chase new projects, but that chase, when does it end and how dangerous is it? So I have been also chasing. So one of the projects I've been chasing is Moonswap, which is just pretty much doing the same thing. Let me just make sure that I don't get the wrong website here. I'm always very careful. So Moonswap is one of the projects that I've been chasing a little bit. Rewards were high. So something like the UMA one was really, really high for a while. So UMA was sitting around 2,000% for most of this weekend and on Friday. So yeah, I was enjoying some of these for a while, but the rewards are kind of like finicky with these ones. You're getting above 100, but it's not. I think the 1,000 plus days are starting to become over for the yield farmers. So that's kind of expected. It's sad, I would say. You know, it's always a little bit sad to see these insane rewards going away, but I don't think we expected it to last forever. 1,000% APY literally means your money will 10x in a year, right? That's beyond too much. That's beyond too much. I mean, well, double your money in a month. That sounds like a scam already, right? So in that sense, going down in the rewards, going to 100% APY or something like 200 or 400 for these more rare coins, that's kind of expected. We also have Cream that I was farming quite heavily, and Cream, I'm farming heavily mostly because I feel like this project can actually achieve something. So in terms of the pools I was actually in the Uniswap and the Cream Swap pools for both these projects. But recently Cream, of course, took a little of a dip. So this morning, I saw the Cream Swap took a 30% dive to 170. I was like initially, oh my God, that's not good. But at the end of the day, I'm still up a lot because I was farming this ever since it started, which means I have coins from much earlier on. And also because of the rewards that they were so high at around 1,000-ish or so for a long period of time, that means I can eat up a drop in the price of the cryptocurrency. Tongue-tied. I can eat up a drop in the price of the cryptocurrency itself because I've been enjoying those rewards for quite a significant amount of time. So almost for around 2 weeks now. So yeah, that's been doing pretty well to say the least. So right now it's I would say with the whole yield farming thing, it's much higher risk because for the older projects, the rewards are getting less. But at the same time, the newer projects are highly, highly volatile. I've had a million recommendations for projects to check out, etc., and a bunch of more food-based memes. And I've been just saying, you know what, this weekend, none of that. You know, that's done. I had a few friends that were in projects like Maltai, apparently that just pulled out X's scam already. So because the scam ratio is getting higher, yeah, it was time for me to say, you know what, just take it a little bit more slow. The scams are more and more present now. They're trying to target farmers, so just be more careful. If you guys are new to this and you guys are wondering, okay, look, Box is showing me all these super high rewards, especially these ones. These ones are the scariest because yes, they have the highest APY, but at the same time, the currency price is extremely volatile. So in that sense, just be extremely careful. There's a video on something called impermanent loss. This is something you have to be very aware of. If you haven't heard of it before, DeFi playlist up here, or I'll actually send it out. But that actually explains a lot about what's going on. Impermanent loss. But it becomes extremely important, and judging by the fact that people are watching a lot of it, that's pretty much done. So yeah, that's kind of the current take on everything here. And the last thing I want to touch on is just Burger Swap and the whole Binance Smart Chain thing. So I'll start on that in a sec. After we'll do a little bit of comments and we'll kind of have a discussion on this. So the impermanent loss one, I think you definitely have to just watch and just understand. So Roy Haxor says, can you explain the dangers of Pool 2? So Pool 2 are basically the pools that are highlighted. So they are like the ones of Moon and ETH. The issue here is that it doesn't happen with all coins, but with a lot of newer coins, what happens with Pool 2 is that because at the start, a cryptocurrency, when they start mining it, the supply is very small. So let's say a currency is very, very small supply. That means the price can be extremely volatile. So that's the problem with Pool 2. So if you're in Pool 2, you're subjected to that volatility of that coin. So it could be 100% possible, even without manipulation from the founders, that a coin can dump 99%. If a coin dumps 99% and you're in one of these pools here, you will lose all your money. Not even the ETH. So even if it's like a pair with Moon and ETH, your ETH will also be gone just because of the way impermanent loss works. So I have the entire video explaining what that is on the side. I'll put it up there on the DeFi playlist. But that's the kind of gist of it. So if you're in one of those pools and Moon just drops or something, like Moon just goes straight, just crashes into the sun or something like that, then yeah, then it'll blow up and everything will be in flames. Not saying that will happen to Moon project, okay? Not this in the Moon project, but that's one of the issues with impermanent loss, and you have to be paying attention to that. So that's the risk of pool 2. Now with pool 1, it's a little bit safer, but recently the trend has been that a lot of people are cloning SUSHI code. And the issue of SUSHI code is that there is a clause there called the migrator. Actually, not a clause, it's a function called the migrator that can essentially take your tokens. So whatever you stake or whatever you farm with, if it's based on SUSHI, like all these projects are, like the captain contract, etc., they can contain a migrator clause which can just steal your entire, all your coins. So that's the kind of the negative trend. A lot of people have been forking SUSHI, and the result of that has been that the migrator clause can be there. The way to check, of course, is like a lot of times when you go and check the contracts here. So I have the captain contract. You can also check it against something like the SUSHI contract. So you can go SushiSwap, and then we can go to master chef contract. You can check the code, right? So the cool thing is you can do a diff compare and use diff checker. So you can say like, okay, I'm checking the code difference between SUSHI. Let me just make sure I get the right one. So the master chef contract, I'll check this one and check that against the captain, the captain contract, right? So you can find the difference and you can actually look at what's there and what's not. So this is one of the strategies. You can see how much they changed in terms of the code. So on this side, on the left-hand side is the SUSHI contract, and the right-hand side is the captain contract for something like Moon. So you'll see the primary differences here. You'll see a lot of new codes being added. You can see that they still have the migrator. Yeah, you still have the migrator contract there. So if the migrator is being there, so this is the migrator star, and you have to take a look at what's the clauses. So now it becomes hard, right? Now, if you see a lot of changes, that's when it becomes hard. If they just made like 3 or 4 changes, it's very easy to analyze a contract. But if they added an entire kind of a stack here, this is when you gotta call your Ethereum Solidity developer. I'm like, yo, what's up? What did they change? Because it's really beyond the scope of what technically can be done in a minute. But a lot of times, sometimes when you scan a contract, if they just change like 3 variable names, that's fine. That's like the same thing, right? But something to pay attention to, of course, is that when SUSHI deployed a contract, because they have a migrator in there, they also add a time lock. So it kind of prevents outright scam or theft of tokens. But not all contracts copy that time lock. So this is when it does become dangerous, and there are developer pull rugs that purposely target farmers and try to steal their coins as well. So just be extremely very careful here. You have to ensure that there's a time lock if there's a migrator in that contract, pretty much. So anyways, that's kind of the thoughts on yield farming and all that. Welcome, guys. By the way, we have 624 people here. Welcome, guys. If you guys are new here, please smash the likes. And if you guys have any questions as well, like this is a brief introduction of how I look at stuff and what I try to analyze. And I try to form and get some friends to also look at contracts before I start mining, so I know I'm actually safe. But if you guys have any other questions, etc., make sure you just type them in here. I definitely want to know what your concerns are going forward. We'll touch up the next subject, which is the Binance Smart Chain. Very, very quickly here, what the hell is Binance Smart Chain? So Binance created a new chain that is Ethereum compatible. So without reading too much into it, I'm sure you guys know, but Binance Smart Chain is Ethereum virtual machine compatible, which means developers can just directly copy paste code that they wrote for Ethereum using Solidity and just directly paste that into Binance Smart Chain and make it run. That is extremely powerful. That means projects can immediately deploy the projects on Binance Smart Chain, or they can also just copy someone else's code and try to fork their own version on Binance Smart Chain. So that's kind of the power aspect of it. So it's essentially like Ethereum. I do want to make a kind of a difference and separation here that's very, very key, which is that Binance Smart Chain is not the same as Binance Chain. All right, the smart word is extremely important because they have different addresses, they have different functionalities. And if you mix these up, if you accidentally in your brain mix these addresses up, you'll be in a world of hurt because they're not the same chain, they're not the same project. So I've seen, and there's been messages in the past where people have been sending thousands, right, tens of thousands of dollars to the wrong chain, and it can get lost forever. So just be very, very careful here when talking about Binance Smart Chain. This is the new chain that's being launched, and it's Ethereum virtual machine compatible. So anyways, what's the difference here? What can you do with it? Well, one of the interesting things about Binance Smart Chain is that you can also use MetaMask account. So you can use Binance Smart Chain, you can search MetaMask there, and I'll have a documentation up for this as well. But if you install MetaMask, you can directly use your Binance Smart Chain, which is actually pretty cool. Let me actually move this over. Let me move my MetaMask over so I can show you guys this on here. So let me see if I can move that over. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. All right, so here. So that means if you're on MetaMask, you can go and create a custom RCP. So this is a very quick tutorial for you guys here. I just need to copy a number here too. I haven't done this on this computer. This is why this computer is awesome. It's because I can show you guys what I've been working on over the weekend. Oh, there you go. Come on. This is where Binance has the worst documentation. So first of all, you need the Binance Smart Chain address. Here we go. We put this here. So network name, Binance Smart Chain, RCP, chain ID is 56. And then let me see if MetaMask screws up. Yep, obviously it does. Okay, doesn't matter. RCP. Symbol is BNB and plus Swerve. So now you can connect to the Binance Smart Chain. And the kind of interesting thing here is that if you say you go to Curve.Finance, you can see two interfaces pop up. So now that I'm on Binance Smart Chain, the network detects I'm on Binance Smart Chain, and you have an entirely different set of coins. So you can now supply something like wrapped Ether or Litecoin or Ripple or Link onto Binance Smart Chain based Cream, or you can switch back and go back to Ethereum mainnet here, boom, pop that back to mainnet, and you can be on Ethereum assets too. So that's kind of cool. So that's one thing about Binance Smart Chain, that you can switch between the chains, and you have the exact same address as well. So you'll keep your cryptocurrency address, but just make sure that you understand that's not also Ethereum. Binance Smart Chain is not Ethereum chain. Even though you have the same address, you can switch between them, which becomes super powerful. But anyways, I'll do a full guide. Doing this, I kind of realized that it's actually quite hard. But the advantage of Binance Smart Chain is that it functions almost like Ethereum, but it's much cheaper, right? You're using BNB as your native currency, so not Ethereum, but BNB as your native currency. But also when you send a transaction, it is much, much cheaper. So it's roughly 10, in a sense, if you just want to send a transaction, and if you want to do a smart contract interaction, it's around 10 cents. So it's much, much cheaper than Ethereum, where you're fighting for like $8, $10 in terms of fees. There's also BurgerSwap that I've been at. So BurgerSwap, I'm talking about this here. But we'll do that a lot more later. I mean, oh man, the website, guys. This is when Google fails us completely. But anyways, burgerswap.org. There we go. So on BurgerSwap, you can just connect to the BNB one, and it pretty much looks like Uniswap out right the bat. So yeah, you can just swap between cryptocurrencies like BNB and Burger, BNB and Band. So they're essentially building another exchange. That's kind of the power of cryptocurrencies, where you can essentially copy paste code, bring it onto another project, and essentially run an exchange within days. And that's the power of decentralized finance at its current point, because a lot of projects are open source. Why not, right? Why not just copy? And that's the power of it. People can copy code, and as long as people start using it, Bob's your uncle. You can create an exchange just like that. I mean, that's insanely powerful, insanely scary as well. And I think that's the kind of craziness of DeFi. Everything is moving so quickly. And when a project, and because everything is open source, I actually made this comment, because everything is open source, that means everyone has access to that code and anyone else can copy you and innovate. So that means it's great for us, like the entire community overall. It's going to push DeFi over to at breakneck speeds, because things get copied, innovated, improved upon, iteratively improved upon for a huge amount of time. But at the same time, that also means that this market is going to be very volatile. So if any project, they're great, but if they don't innovate themselves, they'll be quickly buried within just weeks at a time. And that's exactly what Uniswap did. You know, they had the code, they open sourced it. SushiSwap just copied that, add a little micro innovation on top of that, and then boom, you're great. And then now Moonswap is caught micro innovating on that as well. And you have a lot of innovation, but at the same time, you have, you know, projects just fighting each other. And I can see this trend going on. I think a lot of people don't like this trend because you're constantly chasing the next kind of wave and figuring out stuff. But the kind of crazy thing is, it's the fastest for this industry to grow. So it's the fastest way for this industry to grow. And it means we all have to be on our toes all the time. Both projects have to constantly innovate. And us as people who are involved in the space, we're always looking for the next breakthrough. Someone creating something, a brand new idea, taking that, innovating on that, and becoming better. And that's unfortunately the case. Some people don't like it, of course, because if you do have your head stuck in the sand, ooh, that's going to be troublesome, guys. That's going to be troublesome. So, yeah. So I think it's pretty a savage place, actually. I think I see that on Twitter a lot. A lot of people are actually quite angry that, you know, their favorite projects that's been around for years that don't get as much attention right now. But the nature of the game is, because DeFi is moving at such a breakneck speed, if people don't copy, innovate, and if they don't innovate on good ideas, they're going to be left out. That's just a sad fact of what's happening right now. With this whole wave, you have to be in front of the wave rather than behind the wave. Yeah, that makes sense, right? So anyways, talking about that as well, just do another intro to tomorrow's one. So tomorrow we're doing the video on with Ryan and Chandler on what's next in crypto. And I definitely want to pick their minds and brains on that. So why not? Why not push this a little bit more for tomorrow? So I'll be excited to see all you guys there tomorrow. And if you guys want, click the set reminder button so that, you know, you guys are reminded to go on. But definitely something fun. All right, and a lot of people are asking about Moonswap. So we talked a little bit about Moonswap earlier. So yet again, I think like Moonswap, in terms of their paper, in terms of medium, has a lot of innovation, because they're also combining aspects of improving, or actually not improving, decreasing the cost per transaction as well. So not only is it like SushiSwap, but it's also like with innovation on transaction speed there as well. But yet again, it's a very, very volatile space. So we got a question just coming up. So it's Lion says, time for a Telegram invite. So yes, absolutely. Thank you for reminding me for that. So for today's stream, we are opening up our Telegram group. Normally this is now set to private. We actually want a really high quality of discussion on this channel. So recently I just made it private so we can manage the group a little bit better. But on every Monday, we open it up to people who want to join. So if you want to join, come in, private group. Let me have the new invite. So I'm going to put the link up here right now in the live stream chat. So don't use the one on the, you know, I have to remove the one on the description, but just use the one in the live stream chat that will bring you there. So I'm opening that group up. Just a big comment as well. A lot of people come into this chat and they don't read the rules. The rules are there for a reason. We just want a high level of discussion. So for example, if you're talking about a particular project, please do declare what price you got in at. It's just a good habit. So we roughly know if it's a 10x bag or if it's something that's going to go up. So declaring your interest is very important. And also we don't accept forwards. So I think throughout the most of last week, I've been moderating that. And we have some amazing moderators, by the way. Thank you, moderators, that do it for free. Absolutely free. Great community. And the key here is that just if you just blankly forward and don't discuss, that's just a ban right away. Just wanted to make sure you guys know the rules. We want to keep the level of discussion towards discussion rather than at box money. Please, please review this project. I'm like, I'm super busy. Like, discuss. It's a discussion channel. Please include everyone. That's my pet peeve now. I don't want people just directing everything at me. I want this to be a discussion channel, sharing information, sharing intelligence, discussing with each other, and that's what the channel is there for. So please do keep that in mind. Please, we are trying to build a really great community there. So yeah. Anyways, enough about that. Yeah, Shirley Q says, can you talk about something about Moonswap? We just did that, so just rewind a little bit. Like, rewind around 10 minutes, you'll get the discussion on Moonswap there. Peter Santos is Trustswap. Trustswap is a project I'm advising, and they're actually moving at some breakneck speeds as well. So what happened was that they're doing the launch pad for new projects, which is amazing. And they're doing quite a few things I want to catch up with Jeff on as well. So we're going to have Jeff on the channel very, very soon. And I think one thing about Trustswap that I really liked as well is the speed at which people move. I think that's kind of key right now. If you want a project that is doing DeFi, you can't just stay stagnant. This whole space is so fast and innovative that you have to be on the next kind of wave ASAP. And that's, I think, something that Jeff is doing very well at, which is like he identifies trends and he wants to be ahead of that trend. So definitely want to bring Jeff on board as well for updates on everything that's happening. We got Lion Daft Game says, game, this is a shot game. Take a shot every time box money says, this is a situation. I don't say that much, do I? I'll play that game with you. All right, so BJJ says, Michael, what's on your farm list? So I just kind of went through that. So Cream is pretty much on the top of my farm list. So yes, again, Cream also, just on a note as well, Cream is starting the BSC rewards today. So in roughly, I think it's less than 12 hours, they'll start giving out rewards for Binance Smart Chain contracts. That means this is a very special time where you actually get to be able to save something like Litecoin, Bcash, Bitcoin Cash, or Link, or Ripple, or BUSD, or BTCB. This is Binance's version of the BTC, but you'll be able to save that and enjoy some distribution APY rewards for Cream. So that's going on today, like in 12 hours. Or if you're just like, in it like me, if you're, if you want to YOLO, I'm in the, give me a sec. Let me just switch it back. Yeah, let's switch back to the Ethereum chain. And yeah, so I'm in like these pools, which is quite dangerous still. So just be very, very careful. So anyways, so that's good. That's been what I'm farming. We also have a question about Peter Stanley says Swerve. Yeah, absolutely. I'm in that. Swerve, it's one of those coins I just mine and forget. So in a Swerve DAO, basically you can see the mining rewards. I don't know why this indicator is always broken for me, but anyways, the current APY is around 177% in terms of Swerve distributions, and you can save up your USDT, etc., your stable coins for 100% yield. And also if you have a time lock on your Swerve, so you create a time lock. I did a 4-year time lock just to be cheap there, a little bit cheeky, but I did a 4-year time lock, and that means your Swerve APY had a booster of 2.5 as well. So if that's interesting for you guys, that's cool. So that's one of the places where I stick my stable coins. And then we have Burger Swap. I just joined this around 2 days ago, started farming this up a bit, but just be careful that it's quite volatile. The way to do it is you can add liquidity and say you can add BNB Burger and you supply liquidity to that, or you can do something like BNB USD if you want to be less involved, just like less risk taking. So this is a possibility. You can add liquidity there and you can just go max. I don't have it on this account. I don't have any BNB on this account, so I can't show you guys. But the rewards for BNB Burger are the highest, like with everything else. But yeah, this kind of works. It's kind of cool. So that's kind of the current take on everything mining. I'm also in SushiSwap still. Kind of sad. I didn't really move assets out of SushiSwap, but SushiSwap rewards are a lot lower now. So just be mindful of that. I'm also in Moonswap. Moonswap was always there. I'm also in yFV. yFV I haven't why I don't always forget to mention it is because I just leave it there and forget. So I'm in the BAT pool and in the REN pool for the yFV. Rewards are dropping quite a bit. So in the past, obviously this would be like 1,000%, etc. But now I probably have to just like strategize again and figure out what's kind of going on. So that's kind of my 2 cents on everything that's happening. So yFV, I still have YFII. I'm in there too. YFII, and yeah, I'm also in pool 2 as well for YFII. There you go. So quite a lot still farming. It's a lot. It's a lot to manage, and I think it's to a point where if you don't manage well, you're going to forget where your coins are. So what I've been doing is that every time I deposit, I take a screenshot of which pool I'm in and which account that's with. So it's just like kind of the easiest way to manage it. So you just take a screenshot of your entire screen. Okay, I'm there. Reason being is because not all the contract scanners, like say I use Zapper to also find out which pools I'm in, right? So Zapper, but it doesn't show all pools. It's like, it takes a little bit of time. So if you're in a project that's kind of like risky or it's not added yet, it won't be on Zapper. So it won't tell you everything it won't tell you all that information. So just be very, very careful in that respect. So just be very careful about that, guys. So that's why I take a screenshot just to make sure I don't forget about everything and make sure that I am on there. Now, let's go back to a bit of the news. I think we talked way too much about yield farming. It's been really fun, but at the same time, let's go back to a little bit on the news side. I think news side, there wasn't too much. Let me see if I prepared anything for you guys. Coin Telegraph. I don't think it's too much. I think it's some things that were kind of amusing. Oh, I think this is kind of cool too. So this is like very Hong Kong based, but so 2 really cool things that happened in Hong Kong this weekend. So first of all, we have the Bitcoin tram, which is super, super cool. So this is from the Bitcoin Association of Hong Kong. This is a Bitcoin, they made an entire tram covered by Bitcoin logo, which is amazing. So people have been, shooting that, and that's been going all around Hong Kong side. So this is where all the finance district is. It's just amazing how they got this entire Bitcoin tram. So I've been seeing that everywhere, which is super, super cool. So you can just see that's passing. This is actually a scene shot from Genesis Block. So Genesis Block is a Bitcoin center here in Hong Kong, and I can just see that Bitcoin tram passing, the yellow Bitcoin tram, which is just amazing. Big, big shout outs to Leo and Brian from the Bitcoin Association of Hong Kong. They just like did this, like they're baller. They're baller and boss, which is pretty cool. And then also on top of that as well, they did this ad too, which is super, super cool. So this is right in front of the HSBC building. That's amazing, guys. That is amazing. That's super, super well thought out. So this is like a be your own bank. It just talks to people about Bitcoin, how it's scarce, divisible, transferable, right in front of HSBC. And like everyone's been taking photos of that. I mean, come on, guys, that's going to replace banks. We all know that. It's just like a right in front of you, in your face thing for HSBC. So a lot of people have been taking photos of this. This is yet again, and people are so surprised. They're like, oh, it's not a company that's advertising it. Who's paying for this? Well, Hong Kong Bitcoin Association. Makes me proud. It's just a plain out, this is Bitcoin ad. Amazing. So that's pretty cool. I think that's the coolest thing I saw this weekend. So anyways, on top of that, we have quite a lot of drama appearing on Reddit. I think Reddit's something I love to watch, but also it's like it's hilarious for some reasons. I love this. This was funny, like this jokes about IEO prices, and right now, there's definitely a lot of these kind of magic tricks going on. there's definitely some concerns as well. Definitely some people concerned about Binance chain. So you can see this one, which is giving Binance even more power / money to control the market with BSC coming up. And I think yes or no. I mean, if you're OG, if you're like OG Bitcoin and you want full-on decentralization, then Bitcoin is the only one you need, right? This is where maximism comes in. But at the same time, if you want innovation in terms of decentralized finance and what people can bring over, I think a bigger ecosystem makes a lot of sense right now. If Binance is trying to bring more people into crypto, and I think that I've seen this argument a lot, then having a faster chain is good, right? And I think this whole diverse chain ecosystem, that makes sense. So whether it is the Binance Smart Chain, Polkadot, EOS, TRON, I'll even go there. But as long as we all work together and to create something amazing, then we will replace not just $1 billion industry, but $1 trillion industry. I think that's the key here. I mean, if you guys watched the video from last week with the talk with the linear finance guys, you'll actually realize that daily trade volumes for even commodities markets is in the billions of dollars. If we can disrupt that, that's going to be amazing. And to disrupt that, we have to work together and not against each other. And at sometimes also when it comes to that, when it comes to decentralized finance, decentralization is a scale, right? And now people have the freedom to choose. Something I actually didn't really like about Binance Smart Chain is that they don't have many validators. There are around a 20 odd I think it's 24 validators that they have right now for Binance Smart Chain. That's actually a very, very small number. Not very great in terms of decentralization. And unfortunately, that's what they kind of had to compromise with. There will be also more technologies coming up with Ethereum. They are moving to proof of stake, and they're going to allow anyone, so anyone who's holding more than 32 Ethereum, to become a node and a validator on that network. So we're going to have that scale of decentralization, and it's also about how fast people can deploy. I feel like the Binance chain, they probably took a few compromises along the way so they can deploy it out a lot faster. And then we have Polkadot there too. So I think the whole ecosystem narrative, I think, is pretty important right now. And at the end of the day, you know, the market's there to decide what's important. So there we go. We got Apis says, please say about BZRX. I definitely want to talk more about that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for all the memes and the fun stuff. I kind of just take it like r/cryptocurrency is just a meme hub for me now, at least. Kind of funny. It's a meme hub and a gauge to how angry people are. That's kind of the key here now. All right, so I think that's around it for today and what I want to cover. We got Gerald Draper Jr. says, I'll double down on LID. I think LID has very selective use case. So liquidity logs can be provided both by LID and by just providing a log itself. So yet again, I'm thinking like it's more convenient. I don't know. I'm not sure if it can justify entire like ecosystem of currency, but the functionality of LID is strong. So that's my 2 cents. I'm not very deep into LID. I think, yeah. I saw it was useful, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? Can this be done with just a smart contract and kind of innovate on that? If they can innovate on that, that'll be great. So I'll have to do a bit more research on that. Billy Elliott says, Polkadot, Mike, please, I'm all in. Oh no, this is the crazy part about crypto. I think a lot of people are tempted to go all in XYZ. So Polkadot is gaining a lot of traction and a lot of momentum, but definitely like, you guys are all big, you guys all have big boy pants on. I think that's quite important. This space is very volatile. But that being said, recently I've been warming up to Polkadot a lot. So kind of interesting, right? So Polkadot initially got really pushed in China. So mostly in the West for the last 2 or 3 years, it's been pretty quiet. Let's be honest about that. But in China, it was very huge, right? So in China last year and this year, everyone was talking about DOT. So I thought it was just a China kind of push, it's a Western project push to China, and then China is pushing it to the West. But beyond the kind of who's investing narrative, a few things are interesting. Polkadot has its merits because of how the parachains work. So how you can create a project with substrate very easily. You can create your own blockchain with your own specifications and then use a dot as a way to transfer information between these chains. That's very interesting. The second thing that kind of turned me around was that Ethereum was also showed in China massively. So it's like, you can see the analogy that China shows are not terrible, I guess, in that sense. Like Ethereum, EOS, and Polkadot are all, and now Filecoin are all showed very big in China. But at the same time, these projects have merit. So we should look not just at where the hype is, but all the merit. Reason why I'll kind of avoid the hypes and avoid selective regional hypes is because there's always that danger there. If it's like, if it's only valid in a certain region, then does it mean it's valid internationally? And Ethereum kind of proved that everyone loves it worldwide. And yeah, I think Polkadot will probably take this similar narrative. So Polkadot has a very strong narrative in China and a very, very strong Chinese community on there as well. But that being said, for sure, tech-wise, I think it's very attractive for a lot of people. I've been hearing a lot more people talk about Polkadot right now, which is great. And yeah, I'm definitely taking a lot more time to look at it. So yes, definitely new videos of Polkadot coming out very soon. And definitely want to be aware of everything that's happening in the Polkadot ecosystem. It's a whole new ecosystem. And that as well, we also have a chat with Filecoin, or not just about Filecoin, but decentralized storage as well, because I feel like that's going to be the next trend. Next two trends, NFTs and decentralized storage. We got Koa says, how about XDAI? Lots of hype. Definitely going to talk about that soon. Definitely looking into it. I have definitely not looked enough into XDAI, but I'll definitely look into it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We got Shopping.io. Thank you for the show. Now you can buy all items on Amazon, Walmart, and 100 different cryptocurrencies. So thank you so much for the donation, Shopping. I've never actually used Shopping before, but I'll definitely try it. Thank you so much for that. And then we're just reading up the chat. So Bernard has a reply about that as well. Any thoughts on Creed.finance? So I saw it. So both Creed and Pickle I saw over the weekend, and I chose not to check it out. It's just mostly because I was just like, I just needed a break. So apologies if I'm not, next level on everything, but we all need a break. Jason Stone says, TRON is a cheap Chinese ripoff of Ethereum. Change my mind. Justin is a copy paste ripoff. Absolutely. And I thought that for the longest amount of time too. Whether or not it can generate value, yeah. But at the same time, there were a few mining projects, and that's why I actually installed TRON to use for a few farming projects on TRON. And it's like, okay, I can see why some people like it. It's pretty big in China. I can see why. It's because like you can stake TRON to have free transactions. So, it just provides a difference. But the biggest issue I have with TRON is that you're playing against the house, because Justin has a lot of coins, and because he's such a figurehead, like he chose the complete centralization approach, right? Where he puts himself as the figurehead of everything, and everything has his name, a portion of his name. There's the Justswap, Sun Network. I'm like, come on, we got to stop worshiping him already. So I think that also presents a problem to decentralization as well. And it's very interesting because some form of centralization might also work very well in China. I mean, if these products are targeting the Chinese, there must be a reason why it's selected like this, right? There's a reason why. And I think that's mostly because Chinese prefer strong leaders. That's just more of the cultural thing, maybe. So maybe that's why they're trying to choose that as a method to push a project. And you see that very much in China as well. When people are pushing projects, they always like to put the founder's face on. It's almost like going almost back to feudal times where you have coins with the leader's face on, right? Here you have the Sun coin with Justin's Sun, or the Justswap. Yes, again, using that Justin name and face. Interesting marketing play there. Angela Wang is, I gotta admit, but just in some branding and marketing is on point. It's definitely on point for Chinese. I think so. For Asian market, I think it's definitely on point. Bullish is Moonswap 4,175% APY. That is the most dangerous pool. That is a pool that I touched a little bit, but I did not. I'm like super risk averse. I mean, Moonswap already dumped from $10 to $5, and this is it still $5? Let me just double check before I. So it's one of those traps, that the common traps that a lot of people fall into. Okay, so it dumped from 12 all the way down to around $4. So during this time, you'll be suffering huge impermanent loss. So yeah, just be very, very careful of something that says very, very high APY. You look at those numbers, but because you're involved in this pool, this slide down, you can lose a lot with IL. So with impermanent loss, so for the past few hours, it could. Now it could be in a better position to get in, to be honest. It might not be a bad idea because it's kind of finding its support, which means that you can probably ride it up a bit and get it. But anyways, be very, very careful with these big numbers. I had a lot of friends, I talked to them about yield farming, and the first thing they do is they see these large APYs, they jump in and then just lose all their money. Like that instantly. It's like their 2 ETH just turned into 0.5 ETH or something like that, or 0.05 ETH. And I'm like, no, you're not supposed to go into the pool twos. No. So just be very, very careful about large numbers, guys. That's very hard. Not financial wise, obviously. Modi Funstar says, if ETH 2.0 is coming out and ETH 1 is turning into 1.5, what happens to the whole 32 ETH thing? Are we supposed to have 32 ETH 1.5 or version 2.0? So this is actually the most confusing thing about ETH 2. So with Ethereum 2.0, it's a huge project and it comes in multiple phases. So even when it comes in phase 0, so that's when programmers start. So what we're pushing towards is phase 0. So right now the test net for phase 0 has been up and deployed, and the programmers are seeing if it's stable. But even if phase 0 deploys, you're not going to be able to run smart contracts on ETH 2.0 yet. This becomes very, very complicated, and it's going to be one hell of a transition when the time does come. But because it's in phase 0, it's just a test. And once it goes to phase 1, that's when projects can switch over to ETH 2.0. I expect that to take maybe years. So optimistically, phase 0 will be deployed at the end of this year, but yet again, projects can't move on to there yet. You have to wait until phase 1. And optimistically speaking, they want to release it next year, but I'll give them 2 to 3 years for that to be realistic, right? Because programmers, they kind of underestimate how much work is always involved, and that's just been the case. So with that, because ETH 2.0 is going to take a long time to actually deliver on substantial upgrades, a lot of people are talking about ETH 1.5, which is maybe have some form of additional scaling on top of Ethereum. Huge long story there. Both sides are being pushed at the same time. We'll have to see what timing fits. Can we deploy scaling solutions on Ethereum right now to make that 1.5? Possibly. And maybe 1.5 can work together with ETH 2.0 as well, because a lot of this can work. So there's a lot of talk about ZK rollups and everything on Ethereum as well to try to solve or deliver a faster solution to the big congestion that we have right now. But yet again, all these things take time, and it's going to be confusing as hell. And we're going to have multiple tech standards that we're going to have to try to choose which one to adopt. So going to be plenty fun. So anyways, that's pretty much it for what's happening right now. Just be very, very careful with all these new mining farms. I saw Gerald Draper Jr. says YFIS and YFIE equals to YFFII. Oh my God. It's getting too crazy. It's getting way too crazy for this. I kind of avoided a lot of the new ones for reasons. It's just too many for me to actually move substantial amounts of funds over. Yeah, safety is important for me. So I kind of stuck with kind of a safer core. Nothing's really safe, but maybe safer core. So if you guys have any good information to share and intel to share, I definitely recommend coming on to the private group. So we are on the private group. Let me send the invite there for anyone on this chat. You guys can come in and check it out. Pay says, how about TRX? Is TRX good? Just rewind like 10-15 minutes. I'll talk about the good and bad. There we go. Also, we have, what else? What is this? We have to do t-shirt giveaways to anyone on Notification Squad. So let me find the video up very fast. Let's see if there was any t-shirts giveaways this week. By the way, guys, thank you guys all so much for watching. Click the likes button and subscribe button if you can. The impermanent lost one should be the one giving out free t-shirts. So let me just post that up, the link up. YouTube comment picker. We have this one. So whilst we're at it, guys, make sure. So the deal is this: we got free t-shirts coming out. We got a lot of t-shirts. These ones, the Antisocial Crypto Club, and then we got the Boxman t-shirts. We have new ones, not these old ones. Obviously, these are worn. These are just here, but we have new t-shirts. They're already here. There's a huge amount of t-shirts in that other room. It's crazy, but we'll have that in the office as well. Yeah, so that's coming out. We'll do a random comment picker for this one. Introduce, add the link. Actually, I was showing you t-shirts. I should have just switched that over. But anyways, let's see that include specific text, hashtag. And then the hashtag is hashtag notification squad for that. And then we'll start a, wow, that's a lot of comments for notification squad. So we have the winner chicken dinner is going to be, winner is H. So H, please do message me. Yeah, that's going to be good. Boom, boom, done. So yeah, H, congratulations for winning a free t-shirt. So just send me a chat intel and we'll send you mail you one. And guys, if you guys have a free t-shirt, make sure you take a photo of it, tag it on Twitter, etc. I forgot to shout that out. But if you guys can and you guys want to do that, not compulsory, of course, completely up to you guys. But if you guys want, tag me on Twitter. I'll feature it on this channel. And also, of course, we have NFT giveaways. So we should do more NFT giveaways here. So these are non-fungible tokens. I made these ages ago for the box mining ones, but I thought since I had these here, I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to do some more giveaways and stuff. So if you guys want one of these, get the Engine wallet. Type in your address. So on your Engine wallet, just see. So this one, Engine wallet, you can be collectibles. You can go there. You can see this is the box mining collection. So I've been collecting a lot, obviously. I'm going to give away this one, which is the original box mining one. So if you guys type your ERC20 address into the chat right now, I'll just pick one to give out that. So yeah, so just do that now. So do that now. We'll do a quick pickup giveaway and we'll get some NFTs out, guys. Luis Garcia says one t-shirt. Yay. We'll give both. So we usually just pack both these t-shirts together. So mostly because like just sending t-shirts are like super expensive. But anyways, guys, I think it just takes a little bit of time for everything to happen. Just type your addresses on and then we'll do this. Whoa, we got a lot of comments. Show. So we'll just pick out two again. So we got Debbie Zhang. I just saw that. Let's get Debbie on. Debbie. And we have Peanut Walters. So we'll give away one to Peanut Walters and one to Debbie. Why not? There we go. So yeah, to the people who are fast. All right. So that's it for today. Pretty much. Giveaway's done. Everything's done. Make sure you subscribe, guys. Oh yeah, we got World Valorous is on the farming front. Don't forget Pylon. I'm so confused with Pylon. I'm getting so confused because there's 2 mining places. There's Pylon and there is the new one, Solarite. And there's more coming. I'm like, maybe just have 1 coin, please. Maybe just 1. But anyways, it's confusing as hell. So that's probably why I saw that and I was like, okay, look, you know what? I'm going to put my Pylon into the Solarite thing. And that's going to be it. I'm not going to take any more time to just analyze the whole situation because most of the APY indicators are like messed up anyways. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Brian Chambers says, I can be your Debbie. We'll do more soon, so make sure you guys stick for the next live stream as well. We'll do more during the live giveaway streams. Monday is always a giveaway day, and we also have the stream coming on tomorrow. So just a quick update for you guys on let's see, a quick update. Let's see studio, quick update for next one. There's always a delay as well. Like every time I feel like there's a huge delay between the content and what I'm saying, also the chat as well. So I apologize for that. That's a tech issue. So we have the get shareable link. We have this video up, the tomorrow's video with Chandler and with Ryan. And then we'll have also the Friday live stream as well. I'll post that on so you guys can click the reminders for that and at least, you know, be notified when things go up. Let's see that, number 1. And then we're going to create the live stream for Monday as well. This week, I'm just going to do more live streams. We also had a chat with Oasis founder. Blanked out momentarily, forgot her name. Dawn Song. Yes, apparently. Dawn is legit AF. So many Asians, huh? Legit. But yeah, so Dawn is also coming on the show very soon. We're going to get her content on ASAP as well. So let's just get that. The next live stream is on Friday. So let's get that and copy the shareable link. Friday link here. I'll throw that on here as well. So make sure you're part of the notification squad for that. We're going to have also more live streams throughout the week and answer some of your questions as well. So it'll be really fun. It will be kind of interesting. I'm just shoving that on here. And also this is what it looks like. Set the reminder, Friday live stream, September 18th. That's actually after the new iPhones or the Apple announcements are going to be up. So hopefully we'll have some good news on new Apple products. Hopefully they have something good this year. But if not, then too bad. All right, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Really enjoyed this episode with you guys. Hope you guys stay safe. We got John Brackles. There's too many Asians. Okay, I gotta diversify, guys. Gotta diversify. But yeah, and again, thank you guys so much for watching. Really enjoyed this episode with you guys. Hope you guys can get some information. Stay safe out there. Well, and hopefully we'll have some cool stuff to show tomorrow. So see you tomorrow, same time.